The sun was setting over the empty country road when Ethan Walsh heard the engine sputtering ahead. He slowed his old pickup truck and saw a red sedan pulled over on the shoulder, hood up, steam rising from the engine. A young woman in a black suit stood beside it, her arms crossed, looking frustrated. Behind her, a little girl in a pink dress clutched a stuffed bear. Watching her mother with wide eyes, Ethan pulled over and got out. At 32, he'd spent most of his adult life working as a mechanic, and he recognized an overheated engine from 50 feet away. "Need some help?" he called out. The woman turned to weariness in her eyes. A stranger on an empty road wasn't necessarily comforting when you had a child with you. "Fine. I've called for a tow truck. They said 2 hours." Ethan looked at the sky. The sun would be down in 30 minutes, and this stretch had no lights. "That's a long wait with a little one. Mind if I take a look? I'm a mechanic." The woman hesitated, glanced at her daughter, then nodded. "All right. Thank you." Ethan examined the engine. "When did it start overheating?" "About 10 miles back. I was trying to make it to town." "What's in town?" "A motel. We're just passing through." Ethan worked quietly, checking the radiator and hoses. "You've got a leak in your radiator hose. I can fix it in about 20 minutes. I've got supplies in my truck." The woman's shoulders sagged with relief. "How much do you charge?" "Nothing. I'm just helping a stranded motorist." She looked at him suspiciously. "Nothing. Nothing. My little girl is about the same age as yours. I'd hope someone would help us if we were stuck." "Where's your daughter?" Ethan felt the familiar ache. "With my mom tonight. I'm picking her up now." While the engine cooled, the little girl wandered over, curious. "What's your name?" Ethan asked gently. "Sophia. That's a beautiful name." "I'm Ethan." Sophia giggled, and her mother watched the interaction, her wariness fading. "I'm Rebecca. Rebecca Holland. Thank you for stopping." "You're welcome." He began working on the radiator hose. "You said you have a daughter?" Rebecca asked. "Yeah, Emma. She just turned 3. I'm raising her on my own. Her mother left when she was a baby." "I'm sorry." Ethan shrugged. "We manage. Some days are harder than others, but we're a team. Understand that." Sophia's father isn't in the picture either. They talked while Ethan worked. Rebecca mentioned traveling for important work tomorrow. Ethan told her about his garage in town. "All done," Ethan announced. "That should get you where you're going. Get that hose properly replaced soon, though. Please, let me pay you something." Ethan shook his head. "Not necessary. Just pay it forward sometime." Rebecca looked at him for a long moment. "You're a good man, Ethan Walsh." Sophia ran up and hugged Ethan's leg. "Thank you for fixing our car." "You're very welcome, Miss Sophia." They parted ways, and Ethan drove off to pick up Emma. The next morning, Ethan stood in the county courthouse, his stomach in knots. This was the custody hearing that would determine Emma's future. His ex-wife had reappeared after 3 years, demanding joint custody. His lawyer had warned him the system often favored mothers. "All rise for the Honorable Judge, Rebecca Holland." Ethan's head snapped up as the judge entered. His breath caught. It was her, the woman from the road. Their eyes met across the courtroom. He saw her shock of recognition. Then her expression became carefully neutral. "Please be seated," she said. Judge Holland reviewed the case file. "Before we proceed, I need to make a disclosure. Mr. Walsh and I had a brief interaction yesterday evening. Mr. Walsh provided roadside assistance to me and my daughter. However, if either party feels this constitutes a conflict of interest, I will recuse myself." Ethan's ex-wife's lawyer stood. "Your Honor, I believe recusal would be appropriate." Ethan's lawyer stood as well. "Your Honor, my client has no objection." Judge Holland looked at Ethan. "Mr. Walsh, do you wish me to recuse myself?" Ethan stood. "No, Your Honor. I trust you to be fair." "Very well. Let's proceed." The hearing was grueling. When Ethan testified, his lawyer asked about his relationship with Emma. "Mr. Walsh, can you describe a typical day with your daughter?" "I wake up at 5 to make her breakfast before my mom comes. I work at the garage until 3, then pick Emma up. We go to the park or do puzzles. I make dinner. We read stories. I tuck her in. Then I do paperwork and fall into bed around midnight." "That's a long day." "It is, but Emma is worth every second." Judge Holland asked a question. "Mr. Walsh, yesterday you mentioned picking up Emma from your mother's house. Why wasn't Emma with you?" "I've been working on a difficult repair that ran late. My mother watches her when I'm working." "If you had full-time custody, how would you manage childcare?" "I've arranged reduced hours and hired an assistant. My mother will continue helping, and Emma's enrolled in preschool. I've planned for Emma's future because I never doubt I'll be there for it." "What makes you certain you'll be a better custodial parent?" Ethan looked directly at her. "Because I already am. Actions matter more than intentions. I've shown up every single day for 3 years. I've proven I'll sacrifice anything for my daughter. Emma knows she's safe with me. That's what matters most." After testimony concluded, Judge Holland called a brief recess. When court reconvened, she looked resolute. "I've reviewed all evidence and testimony. This is never easy, but a child's well-being hangs in the balance." Ethan held his breath. "The court recognizes that both parents love Emma. However, love alone is not sufficient. What matters is consistency, stability, and demonstrated commitment. Mr. Walsh has provided all three for 3 years. While I commend the mother for seeking to be part of Emma's life now, I cannot ignore that Mr. Walsh has been Emma's sole source of stability." Judge Holland looked at Ethan that day. "I watched Mr. Walsh interact with my daughter. He was kind, patient, respectful. But more importantly, when he mentioned his daughter, I saw unconditional love and fierce protectiveness that cannot be fabricated." She addressed the courtroom. "Therefore, the court awards full physical custody to Ethan Walsh, with supervised visitation rights for the mother." Ethan felt his knees buckle with relief after the hearing. Judge Holland appeared beside him in the hallway. "Mr. Walsh, I want you to know yesterday's encounter did not influence my decision. I would have made the same ruling regardless. I believe you. But I also want to thank you for helping Sophia and me. You showed kindness to strangers when you had every reason to drive past. That speaks to character. Emma is lucky to have you." Ethan felt tears prick his eyes. "Thank you. That means everything." That evening, Ethan held Emma tight, reading her favorite story for the 3rd time. "Daddy, why are you crying?" Emma asked. "Happy tears, sweetheart. Just happy tears, because you love me, because I love you more than anything in the whole world." Sometimes, helping a stranger on a lonely road leads to something you could never predict. Sometimes kindness without expectation creates ripples that return as waves. And sometimes the person you help becomes the person who protects what you love most. If this story touched your heart, please like and share it. Subscribe for more stories about how small acts of kindness create unexpected miracles. Leave a comment about a time when helping someone led to something you never saw coming. Your stories inspire us all.